Again, the Mad River and Nickel Plate Railroad Museum in Bellevue, Ohio is one of the best places to get enriched and deep in history, not just railroad history. This place is about industrial history, about American ingenuity, and interpreting that history. You got everything from a railroad bell from the President Lincoln funeral train to the replica of the first steam locomotive that ran west of the Alleghenies and Appalachians to various other things. I highly recommend, not only if you're within a 50-mile radius, to get involved with this organization. Dwayne, Bill, and the crew here at Mad River and Nickel Plate, very friendly. They love to get involved with the community. They have car shows and various things throughout the year outside of the regular operating hours. Check out the website. Check out everything about this museum. This is worth a trip. If you're doing Cedar Point, Calamari, Great Wolf Lodge, Toledo, Cleveland trips as a family, or even some of your friends, this is worth a stop right here, right off of 20 and U.S. Route. I can't remember the one is. Anyway, you get the picture. Anyway, please, if you can, financially support this, folks. I do have pictures in here that were given by permission by our Dawson of the cosmetic restoration of the 757. Any donation is applicable and appreciated. Again, get here when you can, because this is one of the best places in Ohio to view trains. What's up? Can I do a quick interview?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Giles Kennedy from Crossroads OVR. As you know, we are an online partner of Ohio Operation Lifesaver. And say your name, where you're from, and why you're here.
My name's Jacob. I go by Jillips. I'm from Franklin, Indiana. I'm just here because trains are cool.
Fair enough. Well, our tagline on the channel and the Facebook page, all about the love of the Iron Horse, Buckeye State Beyond. Now, you said you were here a couple months ago. Your engagement with the staff here at the Mad River Nickel Plate, overall view on that.
Wait, one more time?
Just like, you know, your overall experience, how you...
Oh. This place is pretty cool. I heard about it just because I knew it was next to one of the biggest yards ever. I just wanted to see what it's like here. The people here are pretty cool. One of them just said, hey, you want to see a steam locomotive? And I was like, yeah.
I heard 757 is going to be open for the public today, so that's...
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. I might just peek my head in and see what's new.
All right, fair enough. Well, check out the channel, and thanks for visiting today.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, no doubt, man. Okay, from spring up until October, the Mad River and Nickel Plate Railroad Museum is open. Please follow their socials and look into their website for details on visiting. Again, this is a very interpretive space. There's so much to see. I'm only going to do a limited amount of videos of some of the walkthrough displays in the static display yard here. But let's go and check out this Bellevue depot before we get on. A lot of artifacts about the Nickel Plate Railroad as well as Bellevue in here. Bellevue is still one of the largest railroad yards in North America. This was originally actually the Curtis Depot not far from here for the Wheeling Lake area. And fun-filled fact, when they started building the Mad River and Nickel Plate Railroad Museum, this was a project with the Ohio National Guard for the 76 bicentennial. So there was a lot of civic pride in this particular museum space, starting up and continues to be so to this very day.